What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette, and I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. I really appreciate it. We have got a couple topics of the news from the week that we will talk about. We have some Joker 2 updates. We got some updates on the Acolyte. And of course, we'll be also talking about Robert Downey Jr., talking about the role of Doom. As we know, that was announced not too long ago at Comic-Con. So we are going to get through that and plenty of other topics as well. But let's see, we have got to give a couple shout outs to some folks. Let's see who's here today and who made it out nice and early. Jerome is in the house. What's going on? Thank you for being here. Ms. Harper coming through nice and early. I appreciate you always. Tracy Ann is back. Thank you so much. MC Harris, appreciate you coming through. Let's see, who else did I see here? There we go. T-Ville's here. How you doing? Good to see us. Jesus, good to see you too. Shar, thank you for coming through. Daniel, what is up? Let's see. Degenerated, what's up? Good to see you. My man Real Django is here as well. Corey, appreciate you coming through. We got the homie Zia Latrice is here. 60 plus. Hello, Jay. What's up? Treese, appreciate you coming through. My man Minister Crush is here. We got the homie Rhonda's back. My man Nelson V is here as well. Who else do I see here? Samki? Is that it? Samke? Either way, thank you for being here. Tasha, what is up? Callow, hello. My man Mo is here. Thank you for making it out across the pond. Stamina MC, thank you so much for being here. Ism, what's going on, bro? Who else I got? There we go. My man Theo's here. Tyra's back. Appreciate y'all. Black Prophet, what is up? DB, hello. It's she. Good to see you. Kristen, good to see you. Another homie, Kiki West, is here. Phil Roy, what is up? My man Didier's here as well. Edit Pattern, hello. Mr. Soul Glow, hello. Who else do we have? My man Angel Gonzalez holding it down. Sergeant, what is up? Dietrich, hello. Lamar, what's up? CJ, good to see you. Dorian, appreciate you coming through. Black Wolverine, good to see you. BDH, what is up? Raymond, I see you. And shout out to everyone that has made it out today. Oh, wait, hold on. And there we go. We got some love. Aditya from India. Shout out to everybody that's made it out or will be coming out. Appreciate you guys on all different fronts. Two things we have to talk about real quick before we get started. One, if you are still interested in participating and catching this smoke in the fantasy football, you have to contact me. Okay. I've got I think we have 6 people signed up so far. Now, a lot of y'all was talking that mess, and I ain't seen everybody step up. Now, I will say it is $100 for the buy-in. We're not playing no games. This ain't for no fun and kick. No. If you playing this game, you trying to make that money. Okay. So if you are interested in participating in the fantasy football, Eman's Fantasy Football League, hit me up at emanswatchparty at gmail.com. Let me put that in the comments for y'all. Emanswatchparty at gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know you're interested, and I will go ahead and give you the link. It's first come, first serve. We're trying to we need at least 10 people. So we need at least 4 more. If you're down to catch this smoke, feel free to come in. I promise I won't go nice on y'all. So fantasy football is something for you guys to know about. Outside of that, let's see. We also next week, we probably won't have a live. I'm letting y'all know this now. If I can schedule one, I will see if I can, but I'm not promising nothing because I got fantasy leagues I got to go to, I got to attend. So it's probably not going to happen. Just giving you a heads up. If it does, it's probably going to be some quick impromptu stuff. I don't know, but don't expect a live next week. It is all fantasy football week. I've done all my prep. I'm not here. Y'all listen, even my wife knows I'm not here. I'm not available. Daddy, can we? No, daddy's not here right now. Okay. So just letting y'all know. Okay, now just to kind of go into a little bit more serious news. Y'all know that I am a man of faith. I'm a Christian brother, I believe in God and all that. And it's cool if y'all not, that's fine too. But I am asking y'all on a serious note if you can just put out some thoughts and prayers, some positive vibes. Keep us in your thoughts, for myself mainly. Um, going through a tough time. Because just recently we just found out that my oldest daughter, she turned 17. I now have a 17-year-old. Help. So any positive thoughts, any just whatever y'all can do, I'd appreciate it. I've never been here before. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. So, yeah, any help y'all can offer would be great. She turned 17. We already went shopping for her birthday. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. So just keep us in there. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get on to the topics. Let's do a couple quick topics. We got a couple quick updates on some movies and TV shows, just to kind of get you guys warmed up here. So first up, we have Friday the 13th. We are now going to get a prequel series. And this is going to be moving forward at A24 of all places. So A24, that is usually known for its more creative and indie type of films. They're moving forward now in the TV space. And the prequel to Friday the 13th is going to happen. And it is going to be done by Brad Kane, who also took on the series Black Sails. And I believe he was the showrunner for the other horror prequel series, Welcome to Derry. So he's going to be the showrunner for this. For anybody that does not know, this is basically the story of Jason Voorhees, who, at a camp, he drowned. His mama got mad at the camp counselors, and Jason came in and unalived everybody. Okay, so this is probably one of the top classic horror villains characters to date, but now we're getting an origin series. So I'm not sure where they're gonna go with it. I mean, we kind of already know Jason's origin, like that was literally the first movie, but I don't know. Maybe they're going to show, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Young Jason, like, was his mama crazy? Like, I don't know. But y'all let me know. Are you interested in a Jason prequel series? What would you like to see in a prequel series for Jason? Feel free to let me know your thoughts. I'm kind of curious of, like, did the mama do some witchcraft? Was she into a cult or something? Like, what? I don't know. They're gonna have to give me something. Anyway. Next up, we have Pacific Rim, which is going to be another prequel series that is currently in the works of happening. I'm mixed on this because I like the first Pacific Rim with Idris Elba. That was really good to me. The second one with John Boyega was bad. Like, John Boyega was good in it, but I did not like the writing in it. It felt cheesy. It was terrible. I just did not like what they did with it. But I like the franchise. I'm here for all the kaiju monsters and stuff. There was a Netflix series that took place. It was like an animated thing for Pacific Rim. I actually kind of like that little series that they did. Um, they kind of pushed the story forward, and they were kind of showing a little bit more background information with the kaijus and the riff and all that other stuff. So that Netflix series was cool, but a prequel series, I don't know. I need some more information on this. We'll see. We'll see. But are y'all interested in a Pacific Rim prequel series? If you are, feel free to let me know your thoughts. Another thing we have here is about Frozen. So Frozen 3 and Frozen 4, they are going to be made at the same time. It says here that we're working in a room where this half is Frozen 3, the other half is Frozen 4, and we're standing in the middle going back and forth. So I saw a little footage. Well, it wasn't really footage, but I showed you guys a little bit of the concept art for Frozen 3. They did say that it was going to be something where all these mysteries and all this stuff that was going on was going to take 2 movies to do. I just saw, I want to say, Daniel RPK, I think, was just saying something about how they're going to treat this like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. So these movies are probably going to come out back to back, 1 year apart or something like that. So, I'm interested only because I know my kids are interested. I like the Frozen series franchise. It's cool. This is clearly going to make $2 billion per movie because the franchise, it's huge. People love it. They haven't really done a bad job with it. And listen, the kids love it because even if as adults, if you tired of people saying let it go, them kids ain't gonna let it go. Them kids go. I know for a fact the second this thing hits a trailer, my wife is gonna be like, "Can you buy all these tickets for us to go see Frozen?" I know it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. I just know it. So anyway, what do you guys think about them shooting both movies together? Are you interested? Do you have kids that are gonna want to drag you to go see it? Maybe you don't, and maybe you're just a fan of Frozen. That's okay too. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Um, we do have some spin-off news. So Spider-Man has obviously a bunch of spin-offs going on. And because of this, this is mainly because of the whole rights issue with Marvel and all that. They're not letting go. And because they're not going to let go, they are going to do whatever they can to keep the franchise going. Now, I heard a rumor out there, I don't know how true it is, that every time Sony uses a Spider-Man villain, that's one character that Marvel cannot use. So maybe that's part of the motivation as to why Sony keeps making all this Spider-Man spin-off stuff, so that way they can protect their assets, if that rumor is true. But when it comes to the spin-off stuff, there have been 2 things that I think were bright spots for Sony in the Spider-Man universe. The first one was the Into the Spider-Verse series or franchise with Miles Morales. Those right there have been fire. First one Into, and then the second one Across. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If the third one can keep that same energy, it'll be the greatest superhero trilogy in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So the second good thing that's been going for Sony and the Spider-Man universe is actually Lord and Miller, because Lord and Miller are the guys that are behind the Across the Spider-Verse franchise. They're the ones that put everything together. They're the ones that just make it all work. So I have felt confidence that when they are behind stuff, I'm okay with it. And we talked about not too long ago how we had a TV series, a TV deal that was actually signed by Lord and Miller because they originally had a deal with Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney, and it was for like 9 pictures, 9 deal. I don't know. It was some long thing, but Lucasfilm parted ways with them when they were supposed to do the Solo movie, and that didn't work out. And Sony basically inherited their contract. So Lord and Miller were going to be in charge of all the Sony TV stuff, and that included the Silk series that was going to be on Amazon, I believe. That was going to be a whole different Asian female Spider-Man type of character. And then you had Spider-Man Noir, right, which we talked about earlier. Nick Cage was going to be coming back. He voiced the character in the Into the Spider-Verse films, but he now was going to show up in this live action version of Spider-Man Noir. So those were the two things going for Sony. You had the Across the Spider-Verse, and you also had Lord and Miller. This was the good stuff I think we could have had. But as they say, all good things come to an end, apparently, because it's now saying here that Sony is reportedly not expected to renew their TV deal with Lord and Miller. Silk Spider Society was canceled after being in development for 2 years. There has been an alleged heated fight over the budget for Spider-Man Noir or Spider Noir. This I don't know what's wrong. If anybody had ever earned anything from Sony, Lord and Miller would have to be in. They're the only ones to me that have deserved whatever they've asked for. Meanwhile, this is the same company that has allowed the people that gave you the trashy Venom 2 to also go ahead and do Venom 3. This is coming from the same company that allowed and took the same people from the trashy Morbius to go give you the even more terrible Madam Web. Like, but when they have someone like Lord and Miller, they like, nah, we good. Why? Because the budget, y'all got an issue with the budget? Have they not delivered? Have they not given you what you asked for and then some? Do you really think that anybody else would have delivered Across the Spider-Verse the way that they did? Because y'all clearly did not know. I feel like Lord and Miller coming to Sony is a happy accident. Because the fact that if this rumor is true, if this report is true, they are the last people I would be getting into a fight with. Because they're clearly the only ones that know what they're doing with this all Spider-Man stuff. Like, they're the only ones y'all got. This was my only last hope in pursuing these other side shows and even giving them a chance, because I'm like, you know what? Lord and Miller, they know what they're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Spider-Man Noir and I'm gonna give them a shot because of Lord and Miller. Now, I don't know. I can't figure Sony out. I don't understand what they want. I don't like if I feel like they are bizarro Marvel Studios right now. That's the way Sony acts right now with this Spider-Man franchise. They're like, whatever makes sense, we not gonna do it. I don't get it. Like, y'all just backwards for no reason. If it made money, we don't want it. If it bombed, give it a sequel. Like, what's going on? Anyway, how do y'all feel about the fact that or this report that Lord and Miller will not be coming back, that they are not going to renew a deal with Sony? Personally, I'd be okay with this if Lord and Miller want to come on over to Marvel. Like, just I know it didn't work out with Lucasfilm. Forget them. They can't get a Lando TV series or movie together. They can't get nothing together. Come on over to the MCU. Do your thing. Matter of fact, I'd be cool if Lord and Miller partnered up with James Gunn, and I don't know, maybe they do a Booster Gold movie or something. Like I'm cool with that. Have Lord and Miller go do a Teen Titans movie in James Gunn's universe. I feel like that would be right up their alley. They can handle the comedy, they can handle the drama. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. If they want to pivot away from Sony, it is all right with me. You got other comic book franchises, and that's not to say that that's all that they can do. I'm just saying that's where I would like to see them. I'd like to see them do a Booster Gold, a Teen Titans. If you wanted to even have them do Nova for Marvel, that would be cool too. I'm trying to think of any other comedic potential stuff with well, I don't know if Young Avengers would be a thing, but whatever. Anyway, y'all let me know, what do you think about Lord and Miller not renewing their TV deal with Sony? Does this come off as a red flag for you? Are you curious to see what Sony will do next? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Thank you, Rabia. Keep up the physical. Good work. I shall. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, we have another update. We got a quick update here from The Boys. So The Boys season 4 has ended. And I think I've already told y'all this before, but I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the strongest season. Matter of fact, I think it was probably the worst season, but I don't think it was a bad season. But season 5 is supposed to be the big corral, the big finale for it. That is where the season is going to end. The showrunner Eric Kripke has basically been teasing this up and hyping it up. And given where season 4 ended, it's definitely propping up season 5 to be straight up chaos. So I will say that while I wasn't thoroughly impressed with season 4, the finale did get me excited for what they're going to do in season 5. And what I also have liked is the fact that the showrunner, who also did Supernatural, which I think we all can agree Supernatural should have ended in season 5. I like the fact that the showrunner agrees with that. I like the fact that he also was like, yo, I learned my lesson. Supernatural went on too long, paraphrasing. And he was like, with The Boys, ending it at 5, and that is the sweet spot. So I'm okay with them ending this at season 5. But they are also going to have a couple other spinoffs. So there's also The Boys Mexico that's happening. And you also have Gen V season 2. So that's happening. And I believe we talked about another thing with Peacemaker and Stormfront. They're also going to have another one. So you know what? They're going to have different types of boys shows, and I think that that's okay that they want to end the main story like this. So but we do have an update here from the showrunner, and let's get that up here because he's basically teasing what's going to happen for season 5. He says there will probably be lots of death in the upcoming 5th and final season. There's no guarantee of who's going to survive because we don't have to keep them for another season. So you can have really shocking big things happen all the time. And so as the writers, as we are starting to cook it up, we're really enjoying that. It goes on to say here, so many series finales suck, and it's really hard to land the plane. I'm very grateful to Amazon for giving me the opportunity to end it on our terms. But for sure, I feel lots and lots of pressure to end it well, because I think if we can stick the landing, then people will be like, That's a great show. But if we crap the bed, people will say, oh, it was a good show, but they crapped the bed. And I couldn't agree more with everything he said. And I will say that it does kind of intrigue me that they realize, hey, we don't have nothing to lose. Everybody can die at any point because ain't nobody coming back. We don't have to bring nobody back. Ain't gonna be no more show. Listen, if they want to kill Homelander, Homelander might just die. If Billy got to go, Billy got to go. Like, no, ain't no allegiances here. I like this, and I like it a lot. I love it when a show is able to really just go all the way out. One show that comes to mind is Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad talked about how, well, I'm not going to ruin the ending for people that haven't seen it, but Breaking Bad had mostly a definitive ending, right? And I loved the ending for it. And we had a old girl, Starlight. She was just talking about in the interview. She was like, "Yo, can I just kill the Deep?" And I'm sitting here like, you know what? Given what the Deep did to her, I'm okay if she kills the Deep. You know, I still don't see the purpose of the Deep outside of comic relief, but I do think that would be a fitting little bit of revenge for him. So listen, I'm here for the violence. I'm here for all the deaths in the boys. So if that's how they want to go out, let's go. Because the one thing that's been true about this show, and I think that's been the case from day one, they're here for the unexpected shock value. And there's only so much you can do. There's only so high you can go when it comes to this type of stuff. So, I'm here for it. I'm here for a good conclusion. They know how they're going to wrap this. Sign me up. So you guys let me know, how do you feel about the showrunner of The Boys basically telling y'all everybody gonna die? Well, anybody can die. He didn't say everybody, but anybody can die. Who knows? They not tied to nothing. It is what it is. What do you think? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hold on. I got some things here. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Low key, shout out to you. Sending some love right back. Thank you for the $25 Cash App. I really appreciate you. You said happy Friday on there. Thank you for keeping this channel ad-free and holding it down. Let's see. Oh, hold on now. A leave. Come on through, vet. Hey, E-Man and E-Fam. I'm just on the other side of a stay in the ICU. I have a long road ahead. I want to give a special shout out to Miss Harper, Kristen Pratt, Rims, for all the love, praise, and friendship. Be back soon. Well, I'm so happy to hear that you are on the road to recovery. I hope everything is going smoothly for you. Definitely thoughts and prayers going up for you. And cannot wait for you to be back to the norm. And thank you for that. I appreciate you always. All right, we have more spinoffs. So we have another spinoff, and this is actually I won't spoil it for people that haven't seen it, but it's coming from the movie Megan. Now I liked Megan. Megan was interesting. I didn't it basically was a new version of Chucky. That's all. It was Chucky with AI, right? So I was cool with Megan. It wasn't like a crazy movie or nothing like that, but it was fine. It was enjoyable. I went on a $5 Tuesday. I checked it out. I had a good time. It was fine. And I still can't get the dance scene out of my head. Like that just so unnecessary, but entertaining, right? But we do have a sequel to Megan that is coming up. They are doing Megan 2, which was inevitable, because I don't think even the studio thought that Megan was going to do as well as it did in theaters. But that's not the update that we're going to talk about here. Actually, we're going to have an update about a spinoff. And you guys might remember her. What's her name here? Claudia Dumit, I believe. That was the girl, the head popper from The Boys. She is going to be in a spinoff for um Megan, and it is called Soulmate. Soulmate. All right. You see how they like the numbers and the names and stuff. And it says here that Soulmate, the film watches as a man acquires an artificially intelligent android to help him cope with the recent loss of his deceased wife. In an attempt to create a truly sentient partner, the man inadvertently turns a harmless love bot into a deadly soulmate. Yikes. It says Kate Dolan is directing the movie, and it's described as significantly more risque than Megan. I mean, of course. So this is basically her, because y'all remember Joaquin Phoenix in Her. This is basically her, but with a robot body. Saying that this is going to be more risque, I feel like, is an understatement. Um, I don't even know what to make of this. I need a trailer. I need a trailer. Um, this sounds like an episode from Black Mirror. This sounds exactly like that. Matter of fact, they've had episodes just like this in Black Mirror. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I don't even know what to make of this. Like, give me a trailer, we'll see what happens. But a killer sex bot, like, all right, like this. Like, is death by snoo snoo going to be a thing? Like, is that what they're going to do with? I don't know. I don't know. This is beyond me. This is beyond me. Does this movie intrigue you? Does it sound interesting? Um, this is in the Megan world, so I don't know if this is more the AI or I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, yeah, okay. So we jump from prequels and now we're doing more, right? More sequels. Because Rush Hour is always been in the conversation of potentially continuing. Now I will say that Rush Hour was something that when it first came out, what was that, the late 90s or something like that? I enjoyed it. Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan, fantastic combination. They did their thing. Now Rush Hour 1 and 2, I enjoyed way more. 3, not as much. 3, you can kind of see like, all right, y'all kind of milking it now. But there have been conversations about what we gonna do with 4. So we see here that Lionsgate is looking at doing a Rush Hour 4. This is something that I believe they're shopping around as well. But the problem is this would mean potentially working with the filmmaker Brett Ratner, who was a part. He wanted, if there were going to do another one, he wants to be the director and producer. However, this guy had been Me Too'd and he faced multiple allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment in 2017. So Ratner, of course, denied all allegations and no charges have been brought against them. Also, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan have talked about they both have expressed desire to return back to the Rush Hour franchise. But is it worth it? And I think that's going to be the main question. Is it worth it to bring this back? One, you got this director producer that again has been Me Too'd. I believe he had 6 allegations. I'm not going to go into the details of what it was, but I believe Olivia Munn was one of the people that accused him of inappropriate stuff. So you have that. I mean, I'm still wondering, do we need this? Now, we have had some successful comebacks. Bad Boys just made a comeback. They did all right, right? Like that. that probably sparked a little bit of hope in older comedies or action comedies coming back and working, right? But my question is like, do you need Brett? Y'all can't get somebody else? Like, why y'all acting like now? I don't know if there's some contract thing. I don't know if like maybe he has rights to it. I don't know. But the fact that they're kind of acting like they can't move on without him is a little concerning. It kind of gives me the impression there might be something deeper going on. Because I don't know if they need to bring him back. But again, I still don't know if we need this. Listen, Jackie Chan is getting older. Okay. All love and respect to him. I'm just saying, my man ain't, is y'all really gonna have this senior citizen doing all these stunts? Like, I know Tom Cruise is kind of wild with it, but I don't know where Jackie Chan is at right now. That's all. And Chris Tucker, I mean, my man has kind of been out of the Hollywood spotlight for a while. Do you have enough people that were born, I don't know, in the 2010s that are gonna care about this? Early Oh man, my bad, guys. I think this is probably more of a computer issue since this is clearly the second time this has happened. Do me a favor, hold on for a little bit. Let me try and get all my stuff back because I have to restart my computer. Um, ugh, I hate this. So janky. Um, yeah, just give me a second and I'll be right back, guys. Sorry for the interruption. All right, man. My bad, guys. I am it's ridiculous. Clearly I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this. I'm a whole IT professional. I'm out here with a computer getting frozen up, and I have no idea why. Uh so I apologize for that. So what I am going to do though, I'm going to because I lost it. Like I had this big old long article that took me like damn near 45 minutes to go through on the Joker. So I'm just gonna skip that topic. I'll just do like some quick updates about it just for the sake of time. And I don't want this to freeze again. So and I need to figure out why this is acting this way. So we will get through. I do apologize for the break, but we're back. What were we talking about? Rush Hour 4. Okay, do y'all want Rush Hour 4? Like, is this something that you would want to see to come back? Or do you not care? I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's get through this so I can not get froze up again. I wonder if it's a coincidence. We are going to be talking about Disney again. I coincidence? I don't know. But we'll see. Anyway, we got an update here for Anaconda. I don't know if you guys remember this movie or not. I think it came out back in like 97. This had Jennifer Lopez. It had Ice Cube, John Vaught, Owen Wilson. Like this was one of those classic 90s movies that had no business being as entertaining as it was. Even though I don't know if it was a blockbuster or not. I don't know. But I know as a younger kid, I enjoyed it. Right? Like I enjoyed it. And it probably had a lot to do with Jennifer Lopez. I'm not sure. Okay. You're going to have to ask 13, 14-year-old Eman. I don't know. It might have something to do with Jennifer Lopez. I don't know. But apparently there was like a whole sequel TV franchise or something that came out with. Did y'all watch that? I didn't know it came out. I think it was like in 2015 or something. Like something came out. I didn't watch that. But for whatever it was, for whatever's going on, apparently the studios have been trying to make this happen again. And now in the age of reboots and remakes and stuff, it looks like we're going to be going right back to this. So you have here nothing because I forgot to share the screen, dummy. See, this is why all that prep time matters. Jack Black and Paul Rudd are teaming up to star in an Anaconda remake, I think. It says here that Jack Black and Paul Rudd are in early talks to star in a reimagining of Anaconda. It says here the new story involves a group of friends facing midlife crises who are remaking their favorite movie from their youth. They head to the rainforest only to find themselves in a fight for their lives against natural disasters, giant snakes, and violent criminals. Okay. It says one source said that Jack Black would play an erstwhile director, a man stuck in his job as a wedding videographer, while Paul Rudd would play an actor who did a stint on a cop show but sees his Hollywood dream slipping further and further away. Another source said it might be the other way around. Okay, look. I like Jack Black. I like Paul Rudd. But this concept sounds like something that both of them came up with while they were having drinks at a party. Like I can totally see them just bumping into each other at a red carpet or some party, and they was just like, "Hey man, you know what was a good movie? Anaconda." Yeah, I agree. You know it'd be fun if we reimagined it. What do you have in mind? I don't know. Struggling Hollywood people and they just get caught up with snakes. Oh, that sounds good. and throw in criminals too. Yeah, and bugs. Let's just throw in big bugs and stuff. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, I feel like this is exactly what happened. They took notes on a napkin. They took this into a studio and was like, you know, it'd be great. Anacondas, not Anaconda, Anacondas. I'm not sold on none of this. Now, if you throw J-Lo back in there, I'll also take Selma Hayek. Now you have my attention. But until I hear anything like that, I don't care about this. I don't care. As much as I like the first movie, I don't care nothing about this. It's just not, it's not for me. Not for me. This sounds like they want to make it more of a comedic thing, which I already told y'all I don't really like horror and comedy, so I don't know. I don't know. Oh, yeah. And bring Cube back. If you want to bring Ice Cube back as well, I'll take it. But anyway, what do y'all think about this Anaconda reimagining? Is this something that you would like to see? Is this something that you're gonna pass on? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Man, this might have been what got me in trouble almost, because we back. I'm gonna try and get through this fast, so that way we not in no real problems. So, in case you missed it, last week, you know, we talked about this Disney Plus drama. Let me give you the quick recap. So, a man and his wife went to a restaurant that was on a Disney property. Now, Disney didn't own the restaurant, but they leased it out. They said on Disney's website that this restaurant was allergy free and all that. The husband and wife went to the restaurant. They was like, yo, no, nothing with nuts. They allergic, blah, blah, blah. The waiter was like, no nuts. It's all good. Ended up having nuts in there, and the wife, unfortunately, passed away. Then what made headlines was the sneaky little thing that Disney threw in there, because they tried to throw this case away. They tried to get it dismissed. The reason why it was trying to get dismissed was because Disney said, y'all thought I froze. I didn't freeze. I'm fine. I'm good. But Disney said, according to their terms and agreements of Disney Plus, they not gonna have no case. Yes, you heard that right. Because this man signed up for Disney Plus, Disney said, you can't sue us. Because in the fine print of them terms and agreements that don't nobody read, Disney said, you can't sue us for anything. Just at all. You have to go to arbitration. So here's what happens. We got a continuation of this story, because Disney has put out another statement, and Disney is now waiving arbitration in the wrongful death suit filed by the husband. Disney apparently had a change of heart, and it says here, at Disney, we strive to put humanity above all other considerations. With such unique circumstances as the one in this case, we believe this situation warrants a sensitive approach to expedite the resolution for the family who have experienced such a painful loss. As such, we decided to waive our right to arbitration and have the matter proceed in court. Cap, stop playing. Y'all decided to put humanity above everything else before or after you asked to have this case dismissed? Because my thing, and I've been telling y'all this for a long time, the House of the Mouse, the one thing they care about the most, forget the money, forget the fame, they care about their image above everything else. They don't want to look bad because bad image means you're not family friendly. It means we're not going to get money. It means it's going to hurt the theme parks. It's everything is about their image. I guarantee y'all, if this story had not come out, if this was not something that was published in the big outlets, they would have continued fighting this and saying, "No, toss this out." I'm more than convinced that that would be the case. But the mere fact that they even tried to fight it, and they just so happened to backtrack after this story came out, I'm calling cap. I'm calling cap. Y'all PR team was like, "Hey, you know what? Let them go to court. Let's settle in court and get this over with." Because I've already said that I felt like they had a problem because on their own website, they advertised this restaurant as being allergy free. And then they try to pull this old Disney Plus switcheroo on people. Y'all doing too much. You can legally be right and still be morally bankrupt. And that was definitely something that was not a good look for them. So anyway, I'm gonna leave this alone because I know I've been here too long on this story already. But y'all let me know, how do you feel about Disney's change of heart? How do you feel about the fact that now they will let this go to court and they will let it play out? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. Appreciate you. Let's see. Michael, what you got? Jackie Chan is 80. He ain't rushing nowhere. Is he really 80 now? Oh my gosh. I did not know. I didn't know it's been that long. I didn't know. But yeah, I agree though. Like, let these dudes, let them relax. Let them relax. All right, what do we have here? Next up. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, guys. Stop me if you've heard this story before. Old, white, male, working in Hollywood, got an issue with Marvel, DC, and all of that. Have y'all heard this story before? I know I have. I know I've been hearing this. We've been talking about this for how long? What year is it? 2024? I feel like we've been talking about this for like 20, 30 years already. But let's add another one to the list. And that is going to be Brian Cox. And, in case y'all did not know, Brian Cox was like one of the leads on the hit show Succession. He was at a film festival. And, Brian Cox has had some issues with a lot of things. Like the whole idea of a grumpy old man, he fits that to the T because my man will cuss people out in real life and on the TV shows. He don't like nothing. He don't like nobody. And it looks like Marvel done caught a stray out of nowhere just because it was that time of the day. So let's see what my man had to say about this because Logan don't play. He said, what's happened in the television is that television is doing what cinema used to do. I think cinema is in a very bad way. I think it's lost its place because of partly the grandiose element between Marvel, DC, and all of that. Why y'all got to throw DC in there? What has DC done that has garnered anything grandiose? Leave DC out of this. And he goes on to say, and I think it's beginning to implode, actually. You're kind of losing the plot. He goes on to say, yada, yada, yada. Here he goes. So it's just become, he's talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. and Ryan Reynolds making movies with Hugh Jackman. He said, so it's just become a party time for certain actors to do this stuff. When you know that Hugh Jackman can do a bit more, Ryan Reynolds, they go down that road and it's box office. They make a lot of money. You can't knock it. And let's not forget, this man also played William Stryker in the X-Men movies. Okay, so he's been there. But let me just say, just as a point of disagreement, stop blaming Marvel. Don't include DC because they still got catching up to do. Don't blame them for their success. They are in their own lane, minding their own business, giving people what they want. People literally show up and pay money because that's what they want. You cannot blame Marvel, DC, Star Wars for that. Because part of the whole point of cinema, yes, you want to give out a creative vision, it's art, but that art don't mean nothing if don't nobody want to pay to watch it. It don't mean nothing. It's a two-way street when it comes to movies. As creators, you're supposed to give us your original best stuff. As consumers, we will decide if we want to pay for it or not. Don't be mad because somebody else making money and you not. But let me also just say, I completely disagree with the idea that the grandiose of these movies are a problem. How many Marvel movies came out this year? It's literally one. It's just Deadpool and Wolverine. Who did they stop? Did Deadpool and Wolverine mess up Dune? Did it mess up House of the Dragon? Did Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't know, did it mess up Bad Boys? What are you talking about? And you even got small, right? Long Legs, which I think only had a budget of $10 million, now has, I want to say, over $100 million. That's great. For an independent film like that, that's great. If you really want to talk about what's hurting the industry, I've already talked about these things. The shortened release window, that's definitely killing stuff. Borderlands done came and it's probably already on digital. I think it goes on digital next week. That's a problem. Now, the movie also wasn't that good, according to many people. I didn't watch it because I'm allergic to bad movies. But the shortened release window is a problem. But that points to an even bigger problem. It's streaming. Streaming is the actual killing of the industry. If we really want to be simple about this. When you think about streaming, the problem is people have too many options. And anytime you have too many options, you're going to see people pull back. It's a problem. I'll give you a perfect example. When they talk about sales, right? In sales, let's say I'm doing a t-shirt, right? They say one of the worst things you can do when you're trying to sell a t-shirt or something is to have too many options. You got a pink shirt and a yellow shirt and a green shirt and a blue shirt and a white shirt and a black shirt and a turquoise shirt and a brown shirt and a gold shirt. And it's too, people gonna be like, yo, I don't even know which one I want to pick from. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go away. But it's different if you say, yo, we got black or white, which one you want? Now it's a little easier for people to consume and to make a difference. Let's bring this back to movies. Gone with the Wind has been one of the most profitable movies, highest grossing movies when you take out inflation. Why? Because they didn't have no other options. Didn't nobody have nothing else to go watch in the theaters. So guess what? Date night, Gone with the Wind. Hanging out with the bros, Gone with the Wind. Hanging out with the family, Gone with the Wind. And it cost a dime or a nickel or whatever they was charging. So when there were no more options, obviously, people are going to keep going. Back in the 90s, you did not have a whole bunch of streaming and stuff going on. Yes, you had movies going straight to DVD, but it took a long time from the time that they were in theaters for that to happen. So people were able to go to the movies, discover them, and it was able to make more money. Now, with streaming, you can't do that because either what you want to go see in the theaters is coming out anyway, or you got so many channels and so many streamers that have so many shows. You don't have to. I thought I used to have a problem with my Netflix list. Y'all, I know y'all got one too. Everybody got a watch list on Netflix of movies and shows from 2015 or earlier that you just have not gotten around to. You don't think that that's a problem with HBO, with Hulu, Disney Plus, not Peacock, but I'm just saying, you see what the problem is. It's so many things to watch. Of course, I'm going to be more judicious with my time. I'm going to be more careful with where I put my money and what I'm available for. This ain't a Marvel problem. It's not a DC Star Wars problem. This is a streaming problem. People have too many options. So I'm sorry, Mr. Cox. Thank you for your work, but you're wrong. Trying to point at those things is not the problem. You need to go look at them streamers. That's the problem. Anyway, what do y'all think about his comments? Do you believe that maybe it is the actual Marvel big grandiose movie stuff? Maybe that is the problem. I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. JN, old people on the lawn crying for the 10,000th time. Yes. Now, apparently that seems to be the thing. That apparently what? Wait a minute. Stop. What? Y'all subscribed? Just real quick. How many of y'all subscribe to Peacock? I ain't talking about that little old ad for. I mean, how many people are subscribed? Y'all be watching that? How many? Anybody? I'll wait. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead and let me know. I'm gonna wait. Y'all talking about, don't be talking about Peacocky, man. Y'all watching? It's not bad if you do. I'm just curious. Y'all like Poker Face? Okay, let's see. Hold on. Nope. Okay, I do. 1, 2. All right. 3. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. For the Olympics? Okay, I'm with you on the Olympics. Okay, y'all still watching Bel Air? All right, cool. All right. Listen, 7 people are subscribed to Peacock. Congratulations. I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for all 7 of y'all. It's all good. No hate. Let's see here. Oh, so let's talk about Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I have talked to y'all about Rotten Tomatoes and my issue with them for a while. One of the issues I have is the fact that Rotten Tomatoes is very misleading. The purpose of Rotten Tomatoes is really to just give people a quick look, a quick glance at whether or not a movie is good or bad, right? Or if it's worth watching. But as I've told you guys, one of the bigger issues with Rotten Tomatoes is the average person does not really know how Rotten Tomatoes works. They don't really know how the scores are actually calculated. So for example, a movie could get a 6 out of 10, but according to Rotten Tomatoes, that's fresh. So let's think of it like a piece of fruit. Yeah, it's got some bruises on it. Yeah, it's got a little mold on it, but it's still edible. Now, y'all tell me, are y'all eating 60% fresh fruit? So Rotten Tomatoes has that issue. Of course, they have the critics versus the audience, which I've already told y'all that's also misleading because it drives people to believe that there's some sort of beef between critics and fans, and that's not the case. Critics have a different job to do with movies than fans. Fans have the one bar, and maybe more, but the lowest bar is to be entertained, and that's fine. Critics are going in there to actually analyze the movie, usually for some type of job or purpose beyond that, right? It's more work than it is pleasure. With that said, Rotten Tomatoes has also become a bit, and I'm gonna give y'all a little inside studio knowledge here. Rotten Tomatoes has also become more of a marketing ploy than anything else. Um, One of the things that ends up happening is, and you probably have noticed this maybe, studios are leaning towards Rotten Tomatoes and they're just like, yo, 2 episodes have come out for Secret Invasion, or I don't know, insert TV show here, and it's certified fresh. It's fresh, y'all, because only 2 episodes came out. Meanwhile, the rest of the episodes come out and the show is probably trash, right? So it has been one of those type of things where, because of how they use it for marketing, it might not really be the best barometer of how good or bad something is. Now, there's some other factors to it, but I want to introduce this thing that Rotten Tomatoes is introduced first, and then we'll get into it. And that is a new feature, because some of y'all don't like critics. I get it. Some critics, are pretentious. Some are just annoying. Some you might not just agree with. Listen, as long as y'all cool with me, I don't really care how y'all feel about critics. Okay, that's fine by me. Y'all can hate on them. Just love on me. That's all. That we right here, right? But Rotten Tomatoes is saying, yo, alongside having a certified fresh movie, which is usually something that comes from a majority of critics that like a film, they're adding something else. They're adding now verified hot to the mix of things. They're saying here, we're excited to introduce a new elevated distinction to our verified audience score called Verified Hot. This new designation will complement our certified fresh rating, helping fans not only find films that are widely praised by critics, but also discover those beloved by audiences. It's a win-win. And let me just pull this out one more time, because what they say is a win-win, I say is even more cap. So what is the problem? Why is this cap? What is the big deal? E-Man, why do you hate the audience? That's not the case. I do agree that there is value in watching and seeing the audience score, because sometimes there are going to be certain critics or maybe certain movies that are entertaining, but they're not good. Hi, Venom. But that's okay, because as I've been telling y'all, it's okay to like bad movies. We all are guilty of it, and it's fine. I have my fair share of bad movies that I will watch, and I'm very okay with it. I'll never talk about them because I know they're terrible, but I will sit and watch them because it's fun, and that's okay, right? So part of my issue with the whole Rotten Tomatoes thing, with being certified fresh, because I'm gonna keep it fair, it's not just the audience, but it's also the critics here too, right? Part of my issue here is the threshold. You see here that in order to become verified fresh, you need 80 reviews. 80 reviews in order to get something, and that's 80 positive reviews for a film to become fresh. And that's basically saying you need at least 80 critics to at least give it a 6 out of 10 or higher. And out of that, you need at least 80% of them to agree. I don't like that math. I don't like that. Why? Mainly because when you look at like movies that are, let's say, highly reviewed, right? You will probably see up to maybe 500 reviews from critics. You'll have about 500. If you're only taking 80 as your minimum, that's basically saying only less than 20% of critics like this movie. And because less than 20% who actually even bothered to review it, they like this, I don't think that that's a good barometer, because you could get 80 critics that are not in touch with people at all, but yet you happen to get positive reviews. And to me, that doesn't automatically mean that that is the case. Now, I would like to see them raise the threshold to something like 100 critics, maybe even 200 critics. And guess what? If you can't get 200 critics to review a movie, your movie might not be that good. Now, that's okay. But I'm just saying, maybe we don't need to make it something where everybody is certified fresh. Let's go on to the verified hot stuff. What's the criteria with that? Of course, you got to have a score of 90 or higher, but they want a minimum of 500 plus verified reviews, and we're only talking about wide releases. So we're not talking about limited release, wide releases. I don't like this. So all you're saying is, and by the way, in order to get a verified review, you need to have bought your ticket through Fandango, and then that's the way that they make sure that, you know, these are verified people that actually saw the movie. The problem I have with this is when you look at a movie like, I don't know, actually, let's look it up. Let's see a movie that's in the top 5%. I want to see how many people actually contributed on this so we can get a good barometer, right? So let's look at Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War had over 50,000 verified reviews from audience members. Remember, I told you about 500 for critics. Look at their critic score. They had about 490. This is why I'm saying when you have a movie that the vast majority of people have watched, now let me know whether or not the vast majority liked it or not. And if the majority liked it, verify it. That's okay. I'm cool with that. So you see what I'm talking about, right? 490, 50,000. Let's take a look at movies that are verified fresh now. Uncharted had 5,000. Critics hated this. I'm a critic. I did not care for it. 5,000, and it just is. I don't know. I mean, would y'all say that this is a hot movie with 5,000? Blue Beetle. I like Blue Beetle. I did like Blue Beetle, but 2,500 people reviewed this, and that's verified hot. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Not one of y'all saw this movie. This thing got 500 people, and this is verified hot. You see what I'm getting at here? Let me give you a better example. Creed 3, 5,000 people. Now, I like Creed 3. I like Creed 3. I don't think it was the strongest in the franchise. I liked it. 5,000 people. But meanwhile, while Creed 3 got a verified hot, Creed, which I would argue is a better movie, had 50,000 people watch it, and that didn't get verified hot. It missed it by 1 point. Do you see what I'm talking about here, though? This is inconsistent as hell. Movies that I think most people would agree were better from a critic standpoint and from a fan standpoint are getting verified, are not getting verified hot, but yet you got these subpar movies that a handful in comparison actually watch. Those movies are getting a bigger label of being verified hot. This standard does not work. They have to raise the threshold. Let me give you a political example. I hate polls when they sit here and say the American people feel this way about this topic, and they only polled 100 people. 100 people don't represent America. Now, obviously, if you poll 1,000 people, that's a little bit better. If you poll 100,000 people, okay, now we getting closer. But like, if you follow politics, you know polls don't mean anything because those polls never really capture every single person in America. This is the same problem with Rotten Tomatoes. With you, when you have this threshold being that low, you're not getting a real sense of what's going on. And here's the other issue that's going to happen. I still believe that you will be susceptible to having movies deal with review bombing. You still gonna have movies and TV shows that are gonna have haters. And yes, there are people that are wild enough to go pay for a movie just to hate on it because they got nothing else better to do. And that can prevent some really good things from actually getting from informing you that a movie or a TV show is actually good. On the flip side, you can have studios, and I hope they don't do this. You can have studios now giving out Fandango codes and having people go watch this movie early just so that they can prop it up and they can say, hey, it's verified hot now. I don't like this. I don't like anything about it. I like the idea of amplifying the voice of the audience. I do think that that is important. But I don't like the idea that this could be more misleading and this could also be not a true representative of how the people feel. But you guys let me know, how do you feel about this Rotten Tomatoes? Do you even use Rotten Tomatoes at all? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Gladiator 2. Listen, I am excited for Gladiator 2. And one of the bigger reasons was because I was not checking for this, but the moment I heard Denzel Washington was gonna be in Gladiator 2, I said, okay, like, yes, like we need this, this has to happen. This has to happen. So I misspelled that. Hold on. I don't like that. Hold on. Gladiator. There we go. So with Denzel coming in, he actually spoke up on his role a little bit, why he took this, why he joined in. And this is what he had to say in the interview. It says here, Washington is donning ancient Roman gear as Macrinus, a wealthy arms dealer who wants to be emperor, and he's willing to do anything to get there. Now, when he was interviewed about why he was there or why he was jumping on board, he said, there are very few films left for me to make that I'm interested in, and I have to be inspired by the filmmaker. And I was tremendously inspired by Ridley. And he also goes on to say that we had a great go round, the first go round on American Gangster, and here we are. And that makes sense. And I wanted to just kind of share this, mainly because this is along the lines of what I be talking about when it comes to Denzel. When I say that he's not going to just jump and do any old movie, right? Like, he's going to do things at this point in his career that it's got to be moving. It's got to be something that wakes him up and gets him excited. So clearly the Gladiator thing was interesting for him. He had a great time. I mean, I loved American Gangster. Like, that was a really, really solid film. And sometimes I forget that Ridley Scott even made that. But that was the reason that got him back into the saddle with him. But you guys let me know, how do you feel about Denzel coming back to Gladiator? Are you excited? Because he's excited about doing this. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments below. All right, we do have an abbreviated Joker 2 update due to the previous technical difficulties. Again, I do apologize for that. But in a very long interview, director Todd Phillips was talking about Joker 2. And in this interview, he basically was talking about different things that concerned the characters, that talked about the direction of where they were going with this. And again, I'll just kind of summarize some of the main points. So, for example, one thing that he mentioned was that, Arthur in this world, who is the Joker, he's not the prince of crime. They're not trying to make him the mastermind criminal at all. If anything, they're trying to dramatize what he's going through, and they're not trying to make him a Batman villain. okay, okay. When it comes to Harley Quinn, played by Lady Gaga, one of the things that Lady Gaga said was like, yeah, we're not gonna have her have that squeaky voice and the quirkiness and hey, Mr. J, like all of that stuff. Nah, they stripped all of that away from her version of Harley Quinn, mainly because they wanted to make it a more dramatic type of deal. So basically, from the sounds of it, y'all taking away all the things that we actually liked about the character, and you're giving us something different. I'm not opposed to giving us different iterations, but I will say that it is risky. It's risky to sit here and change things up. Now, to be fair, the first Joker movie was risky because it didn't have Batman in it. It was kind of like its own thing. Nobody really knew what to do with this. Some people didn't care for it. I personally liked it after watching it a second time. So it seems like they're trying to do that risk again. Now he does address he addresses the musical aspect because a lot of people are like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you making this a musical? What's going on? And the way that he kind of addressed this was basically saying it's not a traditional musical. Okay, so like if you're thinking of West Side Story or something like that, he's basically saying, nah, that ain't it. That's not what we're trying to do with this movie. Rather, what they're trying to do is like Joker and Harley, they might bust out into song, maybe even dance. First of all, because they're crazy. And second of all, because they might not have the words to express what they're feeling. So it's not going to be like, all right, 1, 2, 3, hit it. It's not going to be like that. But according to him, he's saying that, like, they might be talking and maybe they'll use some songs as a way to convey what the artist, what the character is thinking. Will that work? I don't know. You also have a couple other things that were in this article saying that Joker 2 will begin with a Looney Tunes inspired cartoon starring the Joker. I guess, like I remember Todd Phillips said in the article that he wanted this movie to look like it was made by people that were also crazy. So if you're trying to make Jokers start off with a cartoon, I guess you might accomplish your feat at that point. And he also confirmed that Joker 3 will not be happening. He said that I think we've said what we wanted to say in this world. What's funny to me is the fact that they also said something similar when it came to Joker. Because they asked him, like, yo, are you going to do a sequel? And he was like, nah. Until it made $1 billion. And WB was like, come here. Make another movie right now. We want another $1 billion. And Todd was like, all right. They cut the check and my man came right back. So at this point, when it comes to the things that Todd Phillips is saying about a sequel, when it comes to the characters, the cartoonish stuff, the not being bad, I don't know what to think. And I think the best, even the trailer, none of it made sense because none of these people make sense. And I'm wondering if the real saving grace for this movie will be because everybody's crazy. And I'm thinking that might be it. I think because everybody's crazy, that's going to be the reason why some of this stuff works. Because everything else I can't explain. Everything else I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're doing it. when I see them sitting here talking, singing and dancing, I'll be like, well, they are crazy, you know? So I don't know. Guys, what do you think about these Joker updates? How do you feel about Joker 2? Is this something that you're looking forward to? Do you need to see more? I don't think the trailers are going to help. I really don't. I do want to see this, but I'm going to be just as cautious as I was with the first movie. But I don't. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right. Oof. We got to talk about the Acolyte. So, if you have been following, you know that we have covered the Acolyte on this channel. And this might be, no, I'll take that back, because there was another show I struggled with, and that was Raised by Wolves. First season was cool. Second season struggled. It was bad. But the Acolyte was something where I struggled, because after 1 or 2 episodes, I think it was episode 5 or 6, something like, I was like, yo, are y'all sure y'all want me to finish this? Because it was struggling. Now, we did finish it. I don't know if it stuck the landing, but overall, I did not have a good impression with this show. And to some surprise, maybe not everyone's, the Acolyte has been canceled. It is not coming back for season 2. There are some people that are upset about this. There are some people that are joyous about this. I'm somewhere in between. But let me read some of these things here, and then we'll get to a little bit more of that. So it won't come back for season 2. It says here, the news comes once as a shock, given how much the season 1 finale ended on a cliffhanger and teased several plot lines for season 2. Now, I will say that that is true for me. I am actually surprised that Lucasfilm would cancel this when they opened up all these plot lines. You sat here and said, this is how the Sith are coming. This is the rise of the Sith. You sat here and introduced the Force twin clone thing, whatever. You sat here and talked about the first apprentice. Like, you opened up a lot of stuff. And the fact that you about to cancel this now, you just wasted our time. You wasted my time specifically, because I did my best to give this show I wanted to give it a shot. I wanted to ignore all the noise. I ignored all the misogyny. And yes, there was some misogyny out there. Yes, there was some racism out there. I ignored all of that. Watched every episode. And now you telling me, thanks for your time, but oh well. So that was an issue. Let me go back into this. It says here, other fans, while some did enjoy it, others felt those creative choices were antithetical to the good versus evil nature of Star Wars storytelling. And we also had the fact that this show was review bombed. So you do have some of the hardcore Star Wars fans who are like, oh my gosh, you can't have Jedi doing gray things. They have to be good or evil, and that's it. First of all, I need y'all to open up your eyes to creative storytelling. Good and evil are always a matter of perspective when it comes to storytelling. Because when you look at the bad guys of any type of movie or TV show or whatever, bad guys usually believe that they're doing something good. Bad guys, Thanos, usually believe that they are the hero in their own story. What makes you believe that that can't be the case for the heroes? The heroes can believe that they're also doing the right thing. That doesn't mean that everyone will perceive them as being heroes. Look at Avengers Age of Ultron, or better yet, Civil War, when you had the whole Sokovia Accords. Avengers was like, yo, we was saving the planet and stopping, Ultron from killing everybody. Meanwhile, the people that were there in Sokovia were like, you blew up my apartment. You destroyed my car. I don't have a job anymore because of y'all. They were looking like the villains. And yes, Zemo was right. So, or look at Killmonger. I know a lot of y'all like to. Killmonger was like, yo, there's a whole lot of injustices happening against black folks. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. Now, he was wrong for other things, but he was right about that. So that whole idea of these hardcore Star Wars fans being like, this is not the way of the Jedi, and please miss me with that, because that lets me know that you only want remedial storytelling. Now, I agree, Star Wars has always been meant for younger audiences. I'm with you on that. I've told y'all from the jump, give me a lightsaber and some force, I'm with it. I'm here for it. But you cannot sit here and complain that a storyteller is giving you different perspectives of different characters in different story elements. What? Stop it. Anyway, you also had the whole issue of it being review bombed, which there were people that hated on the show before the show even ended. Before they even could see what happened with the show, before they made wild assumptions. And yes, a lot of them made assumptions before things even happened. You had people talking about this is not canon, even though it wasn't canon because the comics and the novel, they don't count. You had people complaining about, oh my gosh, it's so woke because we see a coven of witches and that's woke. What do you think are in witch covens? What do you think happens with witches? They do magic and stuff with all women. That's a witch coven. Why are y'all shocked by this? Y'all acting like they sat here and had a whole marriage or something on screen, even though if they wanted to, whatever, it's a fictional universe. They can do whatever they want. But y'all sitting here tripping over the weirdest stuff over fiction. And here's where I think a lot of this stuff comes to a head for me. I don't agree with the review bombing. I don't agree with all those other complaints. People can feel how they want to feel, and I'm entitled to disagree with them, by the way. But I think two things can be true at the same time. This show did not deserve the negativity that it received early on. It did not deserve that because no one knew where this show was going. We did not know where it was going to end. That should have never happened. However, in my opinion, this show was not very good either. It was not very good because of all those things that people complained about. I had a problem with the pacing. I had a problem with the character development. I had a problem with the writing structure. I had a problem with the release window. Like, I had other issues with the show that we all talked about. I was not here for Saul. Osha, I will tell you everything once we get to the ship. Osha, I promise I will tell you everything. Osha, I promise once we get done with this, I will tell you everything. What are y'all doing? I didn't connect with the characters. I had a problem with all of that. In addition to being canceled, it seemed as though Disney was like, you know what? We're done. Because on the Disney store, all merchandise for the Acolyte had been removed. You couldn't find the Acolyte nothing on the store. Yikes. Yikes. Talk about a knee-jerk reaction. So the show gets canceled and it's announced. Disney tried to sweep that under the rug. Like, what Acolyte? Johnson, have you heard of an Acolyte show? I don't know nothing about no Acolyte show. What is an Acolyte? What's an Acolyte? And then right after that, after the news came out, some Acolyte merchandise has been re-added back to Disney's online store following its removal after the show's cancellation. Do y'all see a pattern here? We just got done talking about Disney. I'm sorry, the Mouse House. We just got done seeing them trying to prevent or trying to toss out a legal case, with the husband and the wife that passed away. And then they backtrack the moment this stuff got public. And then once somebody called them out that, hey, y'all got rid of all that Acolyte merch, the next day, put it back. Put it back. Take it off 8 months later when they forget about it again. Allegedly. That they didn't say that last part, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, here's the thing. This is not the end of the Acolyte. Because while it has been canceled, some people are not going down like that. And they like, nah, we're not doing this. We're not going out like this. Because there has been movements to make this a thing. And that is a new petition has been launched. And in this petition, they are trying to save the Acolyte. And it has hundreds of signatures from fans. It says here, it was started, and in just 24 hours, it blew up to 700 signatures. Okay. Now, this is not the only time a petition has saved a show. What was the other show? Warrior Nun. I did not watch Warrior Nun, but apparently, when that show got canceled, it did get saved by a petition. They ended up making another one. So I don't know if 700 signatures is going to do anything. Listen, as somebody familiar with petitions, I'm just saying you're going to need a little bit more than 700. Just to, you're going to have to wake people up a little bit more, Hold on, let me see what this they got 27,000. Okay. You know what? In 3 days, y'all got 27,000? Listen. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, because it took us a little longer to get to 20,000, and recast T'Challa. But listen, I respect y'all hustle and I respect y'all grind. Now, this is what I would say, because I'm not going to back down from the fact that I did not like the season 1 of the Acolyte. But I do have a problem with the fact that Lucasfilm is wasting our time if they just cancel it. And I think that this is something that I really wish more people would gravitate to and understand. The same way with Kang the Conqueror. You didn't like him before, and by the way, Jonathan Majors was never the problem. The writing around him was the problem. You've had bad movies like the Thor movies until Thor Ragnarok, or except for Thor Ragnarok. I didn't like Thor 1. But yet, what happens? In every instance, when something is bad, the cure for a bad season, the cure for a character that just did not work, is better writing. That's what you need to do to fix this. So I would say, if Lucasfilms really wants to move forward with this, what they should do, they should renew the Acolyte for season 2. What you do is you get a new showrunner. That's what you really need to do. That would, I believe, give people a little bit more incentive to be like, all right, let me give this show another chance. Because if you sit here and say, hey, we're getting rid of Headley or whatnot, and we're bringing in a new team, that is how you can redeem the good parts. Because here's the thing, while there were some bad things, a lot of bad things in the Acolyte, there were some good things too. The lightsaber fights, fantastic. I really enjoyed those. I like the expansion of the Force. I love the fact that we got different sides of the Force. I'm cool with that. But you're going to have to hire new creatives. You're going to have to get rid of that old team, and you're going to have to bring in new head coaches. Don't nobody just sell a sports team because they had a losing record. You go get more play. You get different players, or you get different coaches, and you bring them back. Don't waste our time with the Acolyte like that. You already got me wondering, why the hell? Listen, I don't even care if it's a spoiler. Why the hell is Yoda there? What did Yoda do? What does he know, and what does he not know? I want to know. You piqued my interest with those little things. So I don't like the fact that they canceled it. I understand why they canceled it. I think that they have a better route to go, which is get somebody else to run this. And we'll see. I don't know. I would say get Dave Filoni or John Favreau or somebody else. What's old girl that was supposed to do? Jesus, she did the Wonder Woman. What was her name? Because she was supposed to do that other movie, Patty Jenkins. Y'all want to give Patty Jenkins another shot? She could work. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about the Acolyte and what's going on with it? How do you feel about the fact that it's canceled? Did you agree with some of the sentiments about the show? Did you like it? Maybe you didn't like it. How do you feel about the petition? Will you be signing the petition? I don't know. And do you think Lucasfilm should bring it back? Do you think it deserves another shot and kind of tie up all the loose ends that it left open? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Oh, excuse me. Oh, snaps. Hold on. I have got to. Oh, man. Thank you so much to the homie, Charlissa. I appreciate you. She said here, for see y'all on the replay. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for the $50 Cash App. I appreciate you. I'm sending some love right back. Thank you for that. I do appreciate you. Quiet one, what you got? The writing wasn't top tier, but the hate was ridiculous before it even started, and Skeleton Crew already receiving the same hate once cast images were dropped. So yeah, I mean, that's the part I don't like. I really don't like people pre-hating on things. I respect people's opinions when they don't like something that they've actually seen, or they've given a good shot, or something. It's fine. Nobody said that you have to like everything. That's not the case. But prejudging stuff off of ignorance, because it's literally ignorance. You literally don't know what they're going to do at the end. I don't like that. I can't give that respect. Now, if it's not your thing, that's okay. Just don't watch it. And I would say leave it alone, right? There's a reason why I have not talked about Andor, because I have not finished it. Every time I try, I fall asleep. That does not mean Andor is bad. It doesn't mean that it's great. And I don't know. So I keep my mouth shut about Andor. I just let y'all know them first 3 episodes, it just did not work for me. But I'm not going to sit here and badmouth it and say it's a terrible show. It might be great. It might be. And one day I'm going to drink enough coffee and I'm going to stay up for the rest. I promise you, because I do want to see it. And I hear y'all saying it's fire. I'm with you. But, anyway. Hell no, I didn't watch The Crow. Thank you for that, quiet one. No, not watching that. No, thank you. I told y'all gonna have to trick me into watching a bad movie, and nothing about The Crow has excited me to go watch it. So I'm good. No thanks. Natalie, finally home from the DNC. Oh, catch you on the replay. All good. Have a good time. I'm sorry Beyonce did not show up. She definitely disappointed people, even though she never promised to show up. All right, let's get to, we only got 3 topics left. Let's see here. What else do we have? We have a quick Vision update. So for those of you that recall, Vision supposedly is still getting his own show to come out. This was going to be a follow-up from WandaVision. If you recall the end of WandaVision, he had to, they rebuilt his body, and he's now all white. So he's trying to find out his purpose in life, yada, yada, yada. We don't know. Don't nobody know. Vision just left. He went upstairs like Judy and never came back. But we have an update here on who can be and who will come back in this new series. And it is none other than James Spader as Ultron. It says here that James Spader is returning to the MCU. He will be reprising his role as Ultron. And we also see here that Terry Metalis, I don't know, and he did Star Trek Picard. They're going to be spearheading the new show. And it's being called Vision Quest, but that's not the official title for it. We don't really know anything about it, actually. And it does say here that Ultron was seemingly destroyed at the end of Age of Ultron. So it's unclear how he would return and what kind of relationship he would have with Vision. So I don't think that this is a big stretch to believe. Ultron, the second in Age of Ultron, the second he went onto the internet, I was like, that's it. That's how he's always going to live. He's the moment he was in the internet, it was it. Once he was no longer contained, he gonna have a backup copy of a backup copy of a backup copy somewhere. Either that, or don't forget, in Age of Ultron, he fused. He was fighting with Vision and all that. He probably put a backdoor Trojan of himself inside of Vision that Vision could not detect. We don't know. Keep in mind, he did come from the Mind Stone. So maybe he infiltrated Vision's mind. We don't know, but I do think that it's not hard to explain how Ultron comes back. He probably is in the back of his mind. He's probably going to be a split personality for Vision. Any of these things could be possible. Any of them. But anyway, you guys let me know, how do you feel about Ultron coming back in a Vision Vision story? Does that get you excited for the show? Are you interested in the show? Or maybe you just don't care because it's been a while. What has it been, almost 4 years? I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. This is for y'all. Y'all boy. Y'all boy. So Captain America, Brave New World is coming out. And I was able to watch some of that feature footage that they showed at Comic-Con. I saw it at D23. And I think, I don't know if I had said this or not, but the vibes that I got, the Winter Soldier vibes. Like, I see what they were talking about with that. One of my potential issues is it almost looks too close to Winter Soldier. I mean, they literally have a car chase scene that looks just like the car chase scene that Sam Jackson was in Winter Soldier. And of course, as we know, There's a whole lot of Hulks in this movie. You know, we got the Red Hulk, or probably, Mackie probably spoiled the fact that, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is going to show up. It's a whole lot of stuff going on, right? That barely has anything to do with Captain America. But in addition to this, in the background, Anthony Mackie has had this feud going on with Tom Holland, because way back when it was at some comic convention or whatever, Tom Holland was on stage with Anthony Mackie, and he basically, they were kind of, ribbing each other, kind of giving each other a little, whatever. And Tom Holland was like, yeah, that's all good. I can't wait for that Falcon movie. Oops. And Mackie had to sit there and take that. He had to sit there and take it because wasn't nobody showing up for no Falcon movie at that time. Like, bro, how you gonna compare? You come on now. So Tom Holland won that match. But Mackie is the kind of guy that won't back down from a fight. So he had some comments recently after the Cap America, footage, the trailers and all that stuff is, out there. He had some more things to say because he didn't want to go down without a fight. He says here on the Marvel podcast, when it came to Tom Holland, he said, well, he's Cap, right? Finally. Like, this is the good thing about Captain America. He's Cap, finally. Or Falcon, I should say. Now we see him running missions on his own and trying to figure out where he fits in the whole world. This is way better than any of Tom Holland's movies. We also have Harrison Ford. Now, if you want to tell me that Cap 4 is going to be better than Uncharted, maybe. If you want to say Cap 4 is going to be better than Cherry, probably. Bro, I don't even know if you can compete with Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, I don't even know if you could do that. And Far From Home, which I thought was a little better, I don't know if you're going to beat that. And I don't think in any way, shape, or form y'all going to be able to beat Spider-Man No Way Home. Just how? What do you have to offer? How many Hulks does it going to take for y'all to even compete with a Spider-Man movie? Listen, somebody come and get y'all boy. Please. I don't know what he's been drinking. I don't know what he's been thinking. But ain't no way. I'm going to still give that movie a good shot. I'm definitely going to check it out, and I'm going to hope for the best. But, bro, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Anyway, you guys let me know, since this is y'all movie anyway. Do you believe, and do you agree with Anthony Mackie, that Cap 4, Brave New World, is going to be better than any Tom Holland movie, and that includes Spider-Man No Way Home? Please express your interests or disagreements in the comments down below. Because I don't know what this man... Okay. Quiet one, what you got? Ultron going to order 66 Vision with an inhibitor chip, and Cap 4 would be better than Thor 2 and 4 at best. That's the floor. That might be the floor, and that might be the ceiling too. Yes. I feel like it has to be better than Thor 2 and Thor 4, and it might be a smidgen better than Ant-Man 3. I think that's as far as it goes. Maybe Ant-Man 2. That's as far as it goes. At least that's my initial, that's my initial impression. JN, No Way Home is a top 5 Marvel movie, no doubt. Mackie feel like he finna be top 3. Mackie feel like this finna be it. They there. He said it, not me. All right, let's get on to our final topic of the night. and we have Robert Downey Jr. on Doctor Doom. Now, outside of Hugh Jackman making the announcement that he was finally going to come back as Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine, which was probably some of the biggest news we ever had. Second to that was probably the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. coming back to the MCU, but this time as Doctor Doom. This was definitely something that I think was also met with mixed reactions. I already told y'all I didn't really like the idea of him coming back, but I understood why he had to come back because that's money in the bank. For the general audience, they just know Robert Downey Jr., Avengers, count me in. They don't care about all the details. I cared more so of the story continuity. I cared about the fact that we were just casually bypassing Kang and we are not getting at least Kang to be able to show why he's actually a problem. That's the problem I have. We've heard it. We've heard he's killed a bunch of galaxies and timelines. We've heard that he's dominated the Avengers multiple times, but we've never seen it. And that is something that I don't agree with Marvel creatively. Now, I will say that I think that it would be smart to at least show Doom destroying or defeating Kang. I saw rumors that they might do that in the post-credit scene. I think that that's kind of lazy if that's all you're going to show us. I still think it would be kind of cool if you show us Kang, who dominated the Avengers, defeated them, and then show us Doom defeating him. But that's another story. But we do have Robert Downey finally speaking up about the role and probably clarifying something that a lot of people have been wondering about this role, because a lot of folks are like, yo, wait a minute, is this Tony Stark as a variant? Is he actually Victor Von Doom? Like what's happening here? Well, he had some conversations with the big boss man Feige, and even higher than that. So let's see what he had to say in this interview here. It says here, when Feige suggested to Downey that he could return, Downey said, Feige said that it just keeps occurring to me if you were to come back. And Downey's wife was like, wait, come back as what? So Feige went up to Robert Downey and was like, yo, it just keeps occurring to me if you were to come back. Now, let's put a pause on this real fast, because Feige was the one for a long time that was like, nah, Hugh Jackman should not come back, because the way Logan ended, it was perfect. Feige was the one who was like, nah, we can't go back. We're not going to go back to Robert Downey because what he did at the end of Endgame, that was it. Feige was the one that said that. Feige was also the one that was like, nah, Chadwick Boseman, his performance was so great. We're not going to recast T'Challa. That's what he said at first. After some pressure from the campaign and multiple interviews, then he was like, it was too soon. But the point is, Feige has been the one consistently saying, we can't do it. We can't go back. And I have been telling y'all for the past couple years, Marvel can do whatever they want. It's fiction and it's movies. If you wanted to bring back Robert Downey as Thor, you could find a stupid way, but you could find a way to do it if you really wanted to. They can do whatever they want. So I find it rich that this guy who has been constantly against going back into the well has already gone back in the well twice, which leads me even more so to believe that he better recast T'Challa. And no, I'm not talking about the junior, the spiritual recasting. I'm like, no, if you can bring back a variant of Stark or whatever you're trying to do, you can do another T'Challa. Okay. Don't nobody have time to sit here and wait for this 8-year-old kid to grow up to finally be in these movies. Don't do that. Now, he does go on in this interview and says, this is Feige telling him now, how can we not go backwards? How can we not disappoint expectations? How can we continue to beat expectations? This is what Downey recalled. He also added, and he brought up Victor Von Doom. I looked into this character. Later on, he goes, let's get Victor Von Doom right. So I think that kind of confirms that, yes, the actor Robert Downey Jr. is going to be coming in as a variant, but he will be playing the character Victor Von Doom. So if and when this happens, and obviously it will happen in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, I really hope that this shuts a lot of people up. And I'm talking about the people that don't really understand what I've been saying from the longest, which is we are sophisticated enough as an audience to mentally separate Robert Downey was the 616 Tony Stark, but now he's Victor Von Doom. You all will shut up and pay attention and turn your brains off and enjoy the movie. Not one person is going to come in here, unless they've just literally been living under a rock. They're not going to sit here and be like, this can't be. He's Tony Stark and only Tony Stark. Everybody, the second you pay for your ticket, the second you put your butt in that seat, the second that Marvel logo goes on, everyone will believe Robert Downey is this version of Victor Von Doom. And I'm going to tell you exactly how they'll do it. They're probably going to give you a post-credit scene in Fantastic Four to warm you up. They're probably going to show it to you in Avengers Doomsday, where this thing will be readily apparent. And by that time, after all these advertisings and trailers and posters, you will believe Robert Downey, the actor, can be a different character. And it's the same level of thinking that it takes for you to believe that you would need to see another actor step in and play the role of T'Challa. Yes, I'm bringing that back to T'Challa because it aggravates me that people have this double standard and try to act like, well, it's a different situation. It's not the same thing. You know what is the same? The way your brain works. That's the same. The same way your brain suspends, a belief because we're watching fiction. That's what will happen here. The same way you will watch this actor play a different character, you'll be okay if another actor steps in and plays T'Challa. Anyway, back to what he said. What's interesting here is the fact that Kevin Feige is the one that pushed this. Kevin Feige is the one that was like, yo, how do we get you back in the MCU? Never mind the easiest answer, which would have just been a variant Tony Stark that probably just went bad. You could have just done that. That would have been easy, and you still would have made the same amount of money. If you tell me evil Tony Stark is back, who's not showing up for that? Superior Iron Man is a thing, but whatever. So Kevin Feige is the one that wants to be extra with all this and make Robert Downey Victor Von Doom, even though Mads Mikkelsen was sitting right there. Cillian Murphy was sitting right there, but whatever. What kind of sort of bothers me just a little bit is what Robert Downey said. I looked into this character. You didn't know who Victor Von Doom was? You don't know who Dr. Doom is? In Marvel? I'm not going to call it a red flag, but I will say it's a yellow flag. Victor Von Doom he's a complicated character. Tony Stark was a character that I feel as though Robert Downey could just be like, oh, arrogant, rich billionaire. I got it. I don't need to see nothing else. I got it. Easy for him to understand. He could play that role. Victor Von Doom, on the other hand, this is the guy with a God complex. This is the guy with insecurities when it comes to his intelligence compared to Reed Richards. This is a guy who is also in love with Sue Richards. This is a guy who is a leader of a country, Latveria. He's a good leader to his people. Oh, he take care of his people. This is the guy who dibs and dabs in the dark arts. This is the guy who, masters, technology almost as well as Tony Stark. This is a complicated character. And you just looked into him? First of all, what does that even mean? You just flip through a comic or two? So I hope that he gets it right. I trust him as an actor to do very well. I do trust him on that front. And I'm assuming that Marvel will do whatever they need to do to catch him up if he's not aware. If he's not. By the way, they also mentioned in this article that this conversation happened about a year ago. A year ago. What was going on a year ago? So right when, for those that don't recall, Jonathan Majors was in the middle of his case. And Feige was like, backup plan set. I mean, I think that it would be naive to believe that Marvel wasn't going to try and figure out a backup plan for Jonathan Majors. They had to. They knew that this could go either way. They knew that it could be a problem one way or another. So the fact that they were having these conversations a year ago, I think they kind of told on themselves a little bit. But they were already trying to pivot. The article goes on to say that Downey already wanted to meet with Bob Iger and about contributing to the company's parks location-based entertainment. For those of you that don't know, Downey will be coming back in some of the theme parks to play Iron Man for some of the rides that they're going to have. They're going to have like King Thanos and Iron Man and all this stuff going on. So in the theme parks, Downey was going to come back for that anyway. But he went to Iger's home. He went to his home, and Iger already seemed to know about the Dr. Doom idea and quickly told Downey, I like it. That means that Iger and Feige had already been talking about this from the jump. Before they even went to Downey, they already were talking about this. And Downey said, you want to talk about two guys that are not easy to have their minds blown, let alone at the same time. What is going on there right now is so beyond my expectations of what was possible. So he's just blown away at the fact that Iger and Feige were just blown away with this whole idea and that they were really sold on this whole Downey as Doom thing. And let's be honest, there's no way Downey would be able to say no to this. Why? We just talked about the crazy payday this man was about to get. This man, they gave him the Avengers jet, they built a whole town for him of trailers or whatever. He's getting a $1 billion. Like, yeah. But at the end of the day, it does always come down to the basics. This is going to put butts in seats. This is going to be a $2 billion movie, and Secret Wars is going to be also a $2 billion movie, and that's minimum. So if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And this makes a lot of sense and dollars for Disney. So anyway, guys, what do y'all think about Robert Downey? I would say confirming the fact that he is going to play Victor Von Doom. How do you feel about the fact that Marvel had this in the plans at least for a year now? And yeah, how are you feeling about Doctor Doom coming into the MCU this way? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's see. Inevitable one. Mackie's Cap movie likely won't even be better than Holland's Umbrella lip sync. I'm just saying that's possible. That's also possible. I mean, this is not the way I would tread if I were Mackie. I would tread lightly here. That's just me. JM, what you got? Opening of Doomsday should be Majors and Downey, Kang and Doom dialogue similar to the opening of Infinity War, or Doom arriving in Wakanda. I'd be okay with that. Here's the thing, and let's just make it even more simple. I'd be fine if you go into a parallel universe, right, where Kang the Conqueror has come back and he's literally defeated the Avengers of that timeline. All you see is just their dead bodies, shields, all that stuff. Just show us that Kang was a problem. Because just like you mentioned in Infinity War, we saw Thanos mollywop and put the Hulk to sleep. That was an immediate way to show us this guy is a problem. But if you come in and let's just say Dr. Doom is just like, haha, you guys are all in the Council of Kang. I blew you all up and that's over with. Like, to me, I don't like that, mainly because Kang is a constant in time. He's not a character that you could be like, oh, I killed him and that's it. He's always available. This is a guy that was at the beginning of time, in the middle of time, and at the end of time. He's conquered time. So you're going to have to find a way to wrap that up in a better way than just, oh, I killed all the variants. He's always going to have a variant because he was living outside of time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like that's going to get messy, but for the sake of the movie, yes, you're going to have to at least show me him defeating Doom. And I would hope you include Doom defeating the Avengers or heroes or whatever, just to let Doom go, let Kang go out on a good note. Quiet one. Would you hate it if the Russos will bring up Kang being defeated in a throwaway line like they did the Nova Corps, Thanos, and the Power Stone in Infinity War? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. You know, if all we see is Doom walk in and be like, oh, that Doom, that Kang guy, yeah, I got rid of him and his little council. To me, that's cheap. That would be cheap. Because again, I'm looking forward to Doom. I've always looked forward to having Doom come into the MCU, but hurrying it up this way, leapfrogging Kang, I don't like that. So yeah, and here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they do. I would not be surprised if that's a post-credit scene. They just throw it in there. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, your little time traveling villain, I took care of him. Yeah. Yeah, I did that. You know, like, bro, come on, man. Y'all gotta be better than that. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Again, I do apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm gonna try and figure it out. Maybe I gotta run some antivirus or something. I don't know. Computer might be old. I don't know. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. I really appreciate it. Once again, there's a very good chance there will be no live next week. It's fantasy football week. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing any and all fantasy football. So y'all might not see me. You might. I don't know. I'll be tweeting. I'll be posting stuff. So make sure you follow me. But outside of that, guys, make sure you please have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Please enjoy this warm weather for as long as it can last. You know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time, peace.